Hello everybody and welcome back to the Helix. Today on the Helix we've got more Battle for Zendikar spoilers, and they're coming at us with full force again. So, let's get started. Our first card is Obnixless, Reignited. He has definitely got some abs. Abs and there's probably some slots for him in Absen. No, let's talk about the card some more. Okay, so when he comes down, he's a 5-mana Planeswalker, 5 loyalty, so he's got to hit down, kill something, and for the rest of the game, you get to make that useful decision between, you know what, I need a life, and I need something dead. And that's a great trade-off, and I love this guy. Our next Planeswalker is another 4-mana Kiora in the form of Master of the Depths. For starters, she has twice as much loyalty as her previous version, and her +1 is a bit more exciting for me too. The +1 itself untaps a land and a creature you control. Her -2 reminds me a lot of Jace Architect of Thought, in the form of that you can do it twice and get some value out of it, or you can +1 to do it a few times. And this is a really great ability just for those mid-range S decks that just want lands and creatures and keep spewing them out as the game goes on. The ramp is also very important in those type of decks too, so Kiora just might have found a niche. What probably won't go into any of those decks is Scythe Leopard. Scythe Leopard is a 1-mana 1/1 doing a terrible impression of staple links. We do still have fetch lands, but that green deck that uses this card is going to be extremely aggressive in order to get use out of that 3/3. Next up is Smothering Abomination. Now, it's pretty much just a Grim Horror Specs with a body, or whatever Eldrazi call what they have in the... Anyway, so it's another Devoid card, and it's a 4-mana 4/3 flyer that comes with a disadvantage for one thing. So its cost of return is at the beginning of your upkeep, you have to sacrifice a creature, but that kind of goes into its other ability, which is why we compare it to Grim Horror Specs, in the form that if you sacrifice a creature, you get to draw a card. So this means is that all your Eldrazi tokens are drawing you cards and getting you mana, which I'm a big fan of drawing cards and getting mana. This might just be where you want to be. And now, a word from our sponsors. Do you hate red in general? Does Deathmist Raptor Den Protector sound like a bad way to spend your Friday night? Well, look no further than Undergrowth Champion. Undergrowth Champion is actually a very impressive card for 3 mana. So, with a landfall trigger that gets it a +1 counter for the rest of the game, you get to take one of those +1 counters whenever it takes damage and just remove it away, and the damage is null. If it stays unchallenged on the field, this card just gets pretty big on its own. So, Champion itself wins a fistfight against Deathmist Raptor, but I'm not sure if it's really better than Deathmist Raptor itself. The 3-mana slot for green might still be owed to it, but we'll have to see how that shapes out. As a control player, I already know that I'm going to lose to this trigger a few times during the next few months, but Ulamog just might outcompete it, and at the 10-mana slot, competition is surprisingly stiff. If there's not enough support for the Eldrazi's at this mana cost, we might see only a few of them during the whole run. So it turns out when I said I was a control player, I'm really an Awaken player. These 4 Awaken cards, like Planetary Outburst and Ruinous Path, are really what's tickling me lately. Especially with some dig through times, I can really see myself rolling with these and getting some huge value on the way. I'm not sure if this card strictly fits in that shell, but I'm very interested in Phantom Feeder. So for a blue and a black, you get a 1/1 Death Toucher that ingest and is devoid, and then for 5 mana, you can draw a card, and then your opponent mills the top card into the exile. So there's a few things missing from this card, in particular which ability you want to enable with that exile, but there's some exciting ones already, and I'm happy this card exists. Lumbering Falls is our first land confirmed for the set. So my only complaint about this 3/3 green blue hexproof elemental is that it's lumbering. So before we got Raging Ravine, it was raging. Now this is just accidentally gonna walk over you. I'm not impressed. At least Creeping Tar Pit was scary. Either way though, it'll get the job done, and that's what it's there for. Green Light is one of the cards I'm actually most excited for. It's a 5-mana converge spell. It's a good sign already. That lets you search your deck for a creature, instant, or sorcery that has the mana cost equal to or less than the converge you put into it. So why is this card so important? Well, I think that this card will single-handedly make sure that 5-color control is a thing. With the lands from last week, I wouldn't be surprised if you can turn your whole deck into a toolbox by turn 5. There's definitely something to be said about the front half of Mystical Teachings, and you're going to get much more out of this on the way. The last card I'm going to note tonight is Giroux Warcaller. Warcaller is a 5-mana 2/1 that rallies to give your whole team +2/+2. This is an amazing boost, and something like Gideon can make this girl go really bananas. So, I'm really liking how Battle of Zendikar is shaping out, and I think it's going to fill in nicely. Thanks for watching, and as always, Jesus loves you.